Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing e-bike specific bike racks. As many of you know, if you follow my channel, I have been using the Rock Bros suction cup bike mount to put my bike on the roof of my Tesla Model 3. However, with e-bike applications, the weights tend to be significantly higher and it's just too difficult to get the bike up onto the roof safely. So I installed a stealth hitch onto the back of my Tesla Model 3. So what we're going to be doing today is looking at the Hyperax 2-bike e-bike specific bike rack. This bike rack has a weight limit of 140 pounds, which was one of the first issues that I ran into. It was actually kind of difficult to find a bike rack that wasn't outrageously expensive, that could carry a bike more than 30 or 40 pounds per bike. With most e-bikes coming in 50 to 60, even 75 pounds, it can become difficult to find a bike rack that fits and is easy to use. So what we're going to do today, we're going to do an unboxing, show everything that comes in the box, we're going to put it together and install it on the hitch. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to use the rack for a couple of days and then give you my final thoughts on what I think of the rack, what could be changed, what could be better, or if it's just great right out of the box. Alright, first thing, we have a manual with really nice pictures on how to do the tilt mechanism, right ways and wrong ways to load the bike, everything that comes in the box. We have the 2-inch tow bar. So one of the reasons I chose this bike rack over some of the other ones on the market was because I did not want to run a 1.25 inch, 1.5 adapter to a 2-inch receiver. I wanted to have the 2-inch receiver all the way because to get that weight limit of anything over 100 pounds, you pretty much need the 2-inch receiver. So 2-inch receiver. We've got the handle for the locking of the bikes, 2 nylon straps. Would appear to be 2 makeshift wrenches for putting it together, so you shouldn't need any tools. There's a lot of hardware. This is the rack itself. So here's the first portion. This looks like the part that goes onto the hitch. This rack also has a ratcheting mechanism for locking the bikes down to the rack, so that if you're going to leave your bikes unattended, they will be locked to the rack itself. There's another box in here. Okay, in this box we have, these are the platforms that the wheels go in. This rack will support up to 5-inch wide wheels. Should have 4 of those. Next we have the 2 hooks that go over the frame, as well as the keys and the locks. So these go over the top of the down tube to hold the bike to the rack. And we have 2 of those. So that's everything in the box. Doesn't look like too much to put together. Alright guys, the first thing they want us to do is install this bolt through the 2-inch anchor and secure it with the lock. So let's get down here and do that. So here's my hitch. They want us to install this, thread it all the way in. And they have the lock that goes on the other side. That gets locked on as such so that no one can steal it. Next, we take the wrench that they provided, we tighten that down. Alright, once we have the actual 2-inch bar attached to our tow hitch, we need to install the upright platform next. This gets held in with a retaining pin. The retaining pin goes in the back of the hitch rack. We'll get that in place. Okay, next we're going to install the bolt for the tilting functionality of the hitch. This is a tilting hitch, so that if you have an SUV, you're able to actually tilt the bikes away from the car or the truck and open your trunk. So we'll install that here. Washers. Nylon threaded nut so that it doesn't come loose. Double check, make sure that works. It does indeed. Next, we'll move on to installing the two platforms. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to install the platforms that the wheels sit in. They go on these drop-down bars, which are held together with a button detent. We'll fold those down. Now these are labeled left and right, and what they're referring to is the side of the bike rack. So they go on in a staggered position, so you need a left and a right for each side, and the curve should be facing up. So in this case here, we'll get this one on. And these can be a little difficult to get on here. They are a very snug fit. So just be ready for that. There we go. All right, next we're going to install the two locking bars. These do have a key locking function. The longer one goes on bottom. They both go with the lock facing forward. And that's it. All right, at this point, the only thing left to install is the carry handle for when the rack is not in use. Get that on there. We got the hardware. There she is. So there it is, guys. That's the entire installation process for the Hyperax 2E e-bike system. I like it so far. Very simple to put together. I think it's very well thought out with the carry handle, the locking mechanism, the way that you can lock the bikes onto the rack. I'm going to be going camping next weekend, and I plan on leaving the bikes on the rack when the car is unattended. So that's perfect that these are able to lock. Stay tuned for the next video. What we're going to be doing is I'm going to be using this bike over the course of the next couple of trips, and I'm going to give you guys some feedback on how it's holding up, what I like about it, what I don't like about it. So if you want to see kind of more of a long-term review, definitely subscribe to the channel so that you can see how these things kind of pan out as time goes on. If you have any questions about this bike rack, feel free to leave a comment down below. Again, don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any videos, and I'll see you guys on the next video.